All right, y'all. We're back, feeding off of the last time we did a like a style talk through, right? Last time you talked through, we kind of put some stuff on me. We thought it'd be fun if the both of us could style out one of our youngest, Alec.
Yeah, so people seem to like the videos of us talking through some of the style things we were thinking about. We thought that this would be a good opportunity to talk through kind of some spring styling things.
Yeah.
We sort of focused on maybe things that people aren't sure how to handle.
Yeah, maybe some of the more challenging stuff. We definitely did some like straight up kits too, you know, but some of the more like challenging stuff maybe.
Or at least things that people bring up like, I don't know how to do X, Y, or Z.
Exactly.
So yeah, we're going to bring Alec in here. We thought it'd be a little easier when we both can hold mics to talk through our thoughts on the different styles. So let's bring in the boy and get it going. All right, we'll start here. I mean, I think that a lot of people aren't sure how to deal with like suiting that either like, you know, is something, I don't want to say extreme, but has like this wrinkled look to it, or something casual, but you still have things to go to like spring weddings or whatever. What we wanted to do was kind of showcase what we mean by doing it casually. And I don't know how to do that any other way than like do it super casually.
Yeah.
So
T-shirt.
Again, we've harped on this a lot of times. If you wear this to a wedding with just a t-shirt and some slip-ons, you're still going to look in place. I mean, obviously there are black tie versions of weddings and you will know if it's that thing, but you do not need to wear like a Zara suit and a white Oxford and a goofy tie that you're going to all mess up throughout the night anyway. I would just start casual. I think actually a casual, when it's elevated like this, looks way more elegant than cheap overdone suiting. Trying to do
100%. And like you said the other day, no matter what, there's going to be some uncle with a dip in a Dale Earnhardt Jr. leather jacket, and no matter what, you're still going to look stellar in something like this.
Yeah, you look better than the guy with the school truck. So I think that like let's just kind of break it down. The main reason why something like this works, in my opinion, is because this is not a one-time suit. I hate occasion suits. I think if you are buying an occasion suit, that is a waste of money. You should buy something nice and casual like this, because this is going to look really cool with jeans or whatever the hell, and you can break up the pants and wear like some kind of like button down or something on top.
You can just wear the tee with the
just
pants too, yeah.
Anything. So you can break this up into different pieces and it's going to make just as much sense. You shouldn't be buying fabrics or styles that you wouldn't wear as separates, in my opinion. It's just me, unless you're building up a huge suit collection, which obviously we're not talking to you because you already have this figured out. But in this case, so this is the AURALEE piece. You could do this with anything else. What you want is something unstructured, natural shoulder, clean, not too tailored, because obviously that's not what we're going for, but not something sloppy either, because that's trickier if you're going for a big baggy look. And that's
nothing here is terribly oversized.
Yeah, I like it with just the slip-on. We're trying to only really showcase two shoes that feel like something you might already have, because that feels more reasonable for how you do it. But yeah, I mean, in this case, if you were going to slightly more formal wedding, maybe put on a close leather shoe. But again, I'm a pretty big proponent of like, if you're gonna go casual, you gotta have to commit and just do it in an elegant way. He does this. He's got a nice watch on. He's got a nice business. It looks good. You know what I'm saying?
And with this lady white tee, a little thicker of a collar, so it's not hanging down like a scoop neck or anything, nice and thick, keeps its structure.
Yeah, I was gonna say this is really imperative to this look. This cannot be a cheap t-shirt. If you're going to do this look, it cannot be a cheap t-shirt. That show, if it's a Hanes shirt you've got tucked in, that's gonna look bad. You want to look something that's not too long, not too short, and I think that having something like he said with a thicker collar really like completes it and makes it look finished.
Yeah, whereas like a sturdier
you want this to feel like a shirt that's got some drape to it, because it should be flowy with the look. That's really important, I think. Other than that, like, this should be easy as hell, because he put this on in about 4 seconds and was ready to go.
He's already kidded.
Finishing up, get a little, you get a little touch point with like, nice little accessories maybe, as long as you don't overdo it. Put a little stuff in your hair and you're out the door and you're good to go. Like, I think that's as much as it
maybe
needs
some
to
nice
be.
sunglasses.
Yeah, super cool for a wedding. That's an easy way to like make it a little fashiony without going overboard.
Some tinted lenses, this and that. But
I think this is cool. I love this look.
Stellar.
I love the whole wrinkled thing from AURALEE. I think that elevates it even in a way where it feels like frumpy. But I think that this ends up looking really.
And I mean, you could tuck the tee to play with the proportions, but like you said, this is it's hyper casual. It's very wrinkled, like intentionally.
So I have like a longer torso, so I would do in that case is tuck it, because it kind of breaks up the lengths of everything. But again, I would not focus on having this super tailored. Like, if it's something nice to have have it cropped and that feels good to you, you could do it. But I think honestly, the less you're thinking about this, the better. And if you're too in your head about it, then don't do it. But these are I think the main key is keep it as something that you'd wear as separates, wear a nice white t-shirt, and then a casual footwear that still feels elevated and you're good out the door. You can break that up in a lot of ways. All right.
How do you feel, Al?
Feels good. It's light. I can run around in it pretty easily.
You could get
very
away.
very active kid. All right, let's go. We're going to the next one.
Two. All right, we are back. We've got another look. This one, I call it City Guy who has some money and is feeling himself, right? A little bit.
Yeah, we had to like cut. So what we already said is like a guy who goes on a date with 2 girls to the Ace Hotel.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think this is also sort of like cool guy in the Hamptons who went to the pool and then he just put all his stuff back on after he went in the pool and now he's going to have a drink before he goes home. Yeah. Kind of that situation. Yeah. We're making up a lot of things for this particular look for some reason, but let's just bring him in.
Come on in now.
No one wants to hypothetically hear us, the type of guy. Okay, cool. So I think we get this question a lot of kind of like how to wear these like crochet type of knit polo shirt things, because this is definitely a trend that comes up a lot. It's a really classic look too, honestly. This is, you can see these back in the 60s, 50s and stuff. Yep. I think that this is the reason people get hung up on it is because of this idea of it being super sheer. As you can definitely see from the camera, it doesn't read as super sheer.
No.
Even standing next to him, it's not that sheer.
No.
I mean, you can see pieces of skin, sure.
Yeah, you can tell maybe he doesn't have a t-shirt underneath,
but there's nothing like readable about it. I think that if you want to put a little tank underneath so you get the little scoop there, that's fine. I think that can read a little douchey, so you have to be very careful there. But that can work if you got the right one. I think also just like a t-shirt, but remember this needs to be a light flowy t-shirt. This cannot be something thick. It needs to be something that feels like really breezy underneath or you've defeated the point. Yeah. But I also think that in the case where you want to wear it open, which is just as valid, almost like treat it like a cardigan, then you go for the flowy t-shirt or the tank, and either
gotta
way,
have something.
Yeah, either way it works. So we just paired it with something super simple. I think that if you're doing something a little bit more like elegant, sophisticated sort of on top, then just go really casual on the bottom. I just think it balances it out looks-wise with a pair of these like Converse-looking shoes. I think it's just everything feels kind of classic and easy. And the key with spring stuff, I really think at the end of the day, is just making it as like effortless as humanly possible, to where you're really not thinking about this much. Even just the way we had him button and everything, I was like, just really treat it like you just threw this on because you just got out of the pool or whatever. It's just you threw it on top, and you kind of treat it as this nice top layer that's adding a ton of texture. Like it's clearly the focal point, but also you realize once you put it together with casual clothing, this doesn't really feel that like standout. There's nothing crazy about it. Treat it just like a sweater, you know what I mean? Or a polo. It should be easy. I think another key is it should kind of be boxy like this. It just makes it fit and flow better. It makes it read into that more cardigan-y type look. I really love it without the t-shirt underneath. I think this is the way to wear it personally, if you're gonna do this type of thing. We just wanted to showcase this because I think people get hung up on it a little bit of like, what do I do with it?
Too hard to wear, which is just not the case.
Yeah, so I just wanted to really show, when you see it in the camera, when you see it on body, you're not seeing all the skin you think you're seeing, and it really like kind of all bleeds into one look, and it just looks like a comfortable, easy to wear knit. So I just treat it as such. So it should be simple, it should be casual, it should be easy and fun, and that's what I think we did here. I especially like this one because the color difference really makes it pop. I think that way, when you do everything casual, it really works. Now, I would say that if you wanted to do like a flowier pant, more of like a dress pant or something more comfortable, maybe a more elegant shoe, in that case, go with something solid. In this case, AURALEE actually does make an all-white one or an ECRU. Just go with a solid then on top, just so you're not doing too many things. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't, because I think that this ends up reading a bit more casual when it's the way it is now. So that's just a function of how you want to style it. But in this case, I think it looks really great. I love it with the jeans, and this is the sky blue jean, which we really like in the case. Yeah, the sky blue, because this is like the perfect summer jean. Like it really matches like everything. It brightens everything up without really pushing you outside of any boundary because it's just denim. So yeah, we love this look. It's easy, and yeah, we're good. Right? You got anything else?
No, I think it looks great.
Yeah. All right, there we go.
All right,
send them off.
We're back with another one. This time, a big pant situation.
Yeah, well, let's bring him in and we'll kind of talk it out. So we wanted to showcase sort of like how to do a big loose pant and kind of like the trend of like a looser pant and a smaller tee without going full like
without doing small tee big pant.
Kid who only shops at a vintage place.
Sure,
you know what I mean? So we were able to do that here by taking like, this is an EG's overpant, right?
Yep, the EG overpant.
So one thing that I think is really key in the spring if you're going to do a big loose pant like this is it needs to be lightweight or it just doesn't make sense. It's
this is like that super lightweight nylon khaki twill kind of thing.
Like Nike or whatever.
So
it just ends up being like, I just think that if it's anything else, it's going to read as heavy, which I think can look cool when you have something big and heavy on top. But in this case, we don't want to do that because it's spring, and also we wanted to achieve this one look. So I think that here we just went with this because of the weight and because of the size. So you get the nice big proportion. Again, we're big into like the bigger proportion we with a smaller shoe. So we kept on that like Converse looking shoe. So the nice thing is you get this like I don't know what it is that I like so much about it, but it just doesn't feel like everything's chunky that way.
Yeah.
You're kind of just focusing, letting the focus be the wider pant instead of the focus being like a chunky shoe and a chunk. I think like some people think that like that's the proportion kind of thing where
everything needs to be big.
Yeah. So if you're going one, you have to go all of it. I don't really think that's true. I kind of go the opposite. Is like let the piece that you want to be big be the focal point, and then everything else kind of pair back a little bit.
I completely
agree.
agree.
That's what we did here. So big pant, smaller shoe, so you get the big volume, cuts back.
Pair of Bostons would work well in this situation as well.
Anything low profile is going to work. Yeah, I think that then going up here, we didn't want to do the super tight tee. I think that's a really tough look. I think that it can be done really cool, but it's not for everybody.
Yeah.
So in this case, we used the Lady White Sport Tee. This is new for them. It's kind of got this interesting. I love the stitch across. I love that it's got the little banding here. What I liked about that is it keeps bringing the t-shirt kind of in more, so it goes out and goes in without feeling tight, which is what we're trying to avoid while still achieving the proportion that we wanted to pursue. I think the other thing that's maybe a little bit important here too is we went tonal, because I think that if you don't go tonal, again, if you're gonna do one loud thing, focus on that. Just let that be the focus. Don't try to like go loud on top, big graphic t-shirt on top, big chunky shoe on the bottom. It's just visually it's like an assault.
Yeah, I agree.
So keeping it tonal, keeping the t-shirt, this is, I wouldn't call this tailored by any stretch, but it's certainly not like a big boxy t-shirt either, which I think is tough. So you get a nice amount of proportion, and the t-shirt should probably be equally as like drapey as whatever the pant is. Because if not,
if it holds its structure all weird, you're going to be hard on top, soft on bottom.
You want to keep the textures pretty similar. And with this one, there's a little bit, the weave just makes it really smooth and flowy and nice. So like I said, you really achieve this like clean look. Like I don't think at all I look at this and think of this as dramatic, although some people might look at the pant and feel like, oh, that's going to be difficult. But realistically, when you keep it all tonal like this, just focus on proportion and what you're trying to express with it. It ends up looking really clean and comfortable and breezy. And again, that's really what we're going for here. So yeah, I mean, I really like this look. I just think it's simple. This looks like something you'd be more.
I love these pants. I'm gonna try them on later. Yeah.
All right. Cool.
All right. Good stuff.
That's that.
All right. Let's bring the boy in.
Let's bring him in.
Stellar. We like it.
Okay, so this is something we wanted to figure out how to like showcase, which is like wearing some sort of knitwear with shorts, which I think is a really cool look.
Is it like Ivy kind of, like
it feels, it feels rich to me. I don't know why.
I agree.
I think that like there's something sort of like really casual, but then kind of upscale about just doing those two things because they wouldn't normally be paired together. And I actually think just think of it like a sweatshirt. So you want something that has this like looser, more comfortable, boxy fit because you're dealing with something that's going to box you up down here. Yeah. So it's kind of important that you really get the proportions right here. I think it's probably the most important thing. Yeah. So even if you're let's say you were gonna do a hoodie and shorts, even something simpler, that's still you want something boxier on top, and you want this. I think just in general, shorts should come to like the knee or higher, depending.
Shorts.
I think it's really tough. Again, if you're into this and what we're doing and you need the advice, I wouldn't say like a big baggy pant is the first place you want to go, although it can absolutely be done.
If you're the person who can wear a baggy short down to the middle of your shins, you already know it.
You don't need our advice.
I.e. Ian. Look back on old YouTube videos and watch Ian's fits.
And it looks really cool. But I think that in general, just take something that's sort of more straight-legged like this and keep it around there. So in this case, we just rolled it one because they were a bit long. And the main reason is you just kind of want it to be right there above the knee. And that creates this nice, like, I don't know, it just feels even to me.
Yeah, I agree.
Which is kind of important here. I know these are like, I don't know, more esoteric seems crazy, but like they're a little bit more like thoughtful. Like you have to be really mindful of proportion.
Exactly.
But I think that's what makes this work at the end of the day. Like whether this is a crew neck or a zip or something like that, that's what makes it work. I think cardigans also play really well. So we use this zip one because we like the proportion of it, but I think also a regular cardigan could work as well in the same way where you get this really casual, easy to, and that way he can move throughout the day and take this off, put it back on. A lot of options for basically 3 pieces. You know what I'm saying? Again, we just did it with the slip-on. Like we said, we wanted this to be really easy to showcase. Like you could only have 2 pairs of shoes and keep using them. This is just slip-on. Again, if you just something leather with something elegant about the leather with everything. So it's really just trying to kind of elevate simple pieces and wear them in new ways. Yeah. Again, here you could wear this with any T-shirt. This could be a cool graphic T-shirt. This could, I think that also, especially with something in a crew neck situation, you could do like an Oxford with it poking out a little bit, and that would look really great too if you think the layered thing works. But you don't want to like over layer in this
scenario. Do too much on top, you're still wearing shorts in it.
But let's just say we did use an Oxford under this and you got the peak and you got a little more heaviness up here. Shorts are still good. that's fine. But then I would use a chunkier shoe.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Kind of balance out the heavy on top.
Balance
Yeah,
out.
I got you.
Just kind of remember, you're just trying to like create balance in the shapes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So even if I had my like dream world, I would even have these be a little bit more open at the bottom, just to
just a little wider
create,
in general. Agreed.
Yeah. So it just depends on what you're after. And in that case, you could still do the same pant and just size up one and then buckle it down. And then,
Easy.
then
Yeah.
you've got the.
I mean, in this exact case, these have the cinches on the side. So
really something like this is showcasing, like we talked about, proportion.
Yep.
So it's simple, it's easy. I'm sure it's comfortable. You can kind of wear it anywhere. It's casual, but I think also depending on the place, you could wear it to dinner and be totally fine.
Yeah.
So it's just like it's a good date night sort of situation.
Yeah. Maybe you're gonna play some bocce ball with the boys, Al.
Whoa.
You know.
Yeah. And again, this can be worn as a mid-layer come winter time. This could be, worn super casually the way it was. This is, I believe, cotton, or maybe it is wool. But it's breathable, so it's easy and light, and the proportion really helps with that as well. And then again, you can just wear all this differently. Now, one other thing I wanted to kind of note is that this was just a discussion we had. It can be kind of hard to wear like ECRU pants, I think, sometimes, because it's like confusing on if you should have
like a white pant
pure white
or
shirt.
Yeah.
If this was a bit more on the off-white side of things, then I would go more of a pure white. If it's, in this case, closer to a straight white, then you just want to put something with it that is in the same tonality. Like you want it to still be...
But not a one-to-one match.
Not a match. Yeah. It's too hard to match, and it just, if you're that close but off, that looks
because it could
ugly.
kind of read as like jumpsuit with a sweatshirt over top, like a short jumpsuit with a sweater over top.
So in this case, you can kind of see it's the same, the color of the shirt is the same tonality as the pant, but like it's just enough different that it's an obvious choice that it's different. So you just want that to be the situation, but you also don't want to accidentally pick like a cool gray, especially if you're going all brown, and then put that with it, and then I feel like it feels off.
Yeah, no.
So you want to be kind of mindful of that, although it's totally doable. You just want to be mindful of the double white, especially because that can be a little hard. But other than that, yeah.
Dope. Yeah,
cool,
looks
comfortable,
good.
easy,
Easy breezy, beautiful. Thank you, Al.
Send them out.
We're back. It's the last look. Let's bring the boy in.
All right.
This is a you look, actually.
This is a look of mine because I own it.
Yeah.
The reason I wanted to use the look, though, and the reason that I wanted to have the look is because, again, think of this just like the suit situation in that I'm going to wear this on its own, I'm going to wear this on its own.
Yep.
And together, they kind of become this other thing that I think people don't know what to do with when it's like a top and bottom that's matching. And you can speak to this too because you do it a lot as well. It's great that you can do the separates and that's easy. But when you do it like this, like suddenly if you're out to dinner, this is like very elevated,
exactly.
I think.
Yeah.
But also because of the materials and all this, it's also like wearing pajamas. So I think that people forget that with like dressier clothes that they're meant to be extremely comfortable. It doesn't have to be a traditional jacket and a traditional dress pant. You can do something. This is super flowy. We didn't cuff it. We didn't do anything. We just wanted it to like land where it lands. We put it with a slide on purpose. That's how I would wear it because I like the look of this. Like you're just leaning into the casual and just using like super elegant materials. And then the matching thing just already to people reads not casual, you know what I mean? And I think that that's what works about it, is that this going to a dinner, technically I think you could probably get away with this at a casual spring wedding.
For sure.
Like anything like that is just, I don't know, there's something sophisticated and really cool about it and confident. And I like would wear this with like a white t-shirt or something. You could do the whole wedding thing. You could go with like a loafer or something so it's still comfortable, but you could dress it up a little bit.
You could throw an Oxford underneath
I'd
this.
wear it with like a hat like this and some New Balance and just let it be like that as well. I think it's just equally as cool. I think a lot of people see guys doing that, especially it's like very popular in Japan to kind of have that matchy look and then do it really casual. At least we saw it a lot there. I think there's something so like cool and powerful about it that it just feels so much dressier and so much more like put together and finished. And you can kind of see it here. I mean, it's so easy that I just think it's the best. You know what I mean? Like it's such a cool look, and I really love that it's not a blazer and it's an oversized like kind of work shirt. And
almost like a shacket.
Again, I've already worn it with jeans. I've worn it with the matching top and bottom to like a nicer dinner, and it was like perfect. I did not feel underdressed. I felt, if anything, like fitting right in with anybody that was in a suit. And you just, I don't know, it just reads as like comfortable and casual and like, I don't know, vibey. And like, I think that's like something everyone should like, especially for spring, like strive for, because that's what feels comfortable and easy.
Yeah, like you said, it's a really nice fabric. It's a seersuckery fabric, but with a very workwear cut. It's roomy. Yeah. It's not some maybe boxy, but it's not slim in any way. It's not tailored in any way. No.
It's meant to hang on you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Which I think with a nice material, the hang is part of the elegance of
100%.
it because it drapes so perfectly in the leg and in the hip and in the back and everything. So like that's what we're going for. It's just like taking away, like dispelling this myth that like this is a suit or too dressed up or too matchy, or that this can only be that and it can't be casual. Like it doesn't need to be one thing. Like I think this is, you get something like this and you just wear it all the time and it just kind of gets better. And the more you work in just like normal things with it, normal sneakers, you know, something dressy, or the more you work in with it inside of your closet, it's only better. Plus, like I said, like this with just a t-shirt looks cool. This with a sweater looks cool. The shirt with jeans. I mean, any version of things, it's like it's endlessly wearable. You're putting it in and it can create 6 different outfits through the course of a week with only 2 pieces. Yeah. As
this
well
with,
as
this with some shorts or something too, you know?
Super
easy.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So again, I just wanted to showcase something that was not a suit, but still could read as that, or can read as casual, because we're always been, you know, promoters of like what we call kits, which is like matching kind of top and bottom, just because of how versatile it really can be. I think people think of it as inside of a box, but the nice thing is you can put this together and not think anything about it. He's again ready in 2 seconds. Yeah. Or you put a lot more thought into like, well, I think I could wear, you know, these accessories with it, or this different type of shoe or something. I think people should play more with, especially in spring more than winter, is that you can play with like what works, like can I do something that would not normally be done with a sneaker, not normally be done with a dress shoe, and still make it work and feel casual and comfortable. So this is that to me. This is like the easiest thing you could possibly do. I mean, I know this is pricier, but you can do this with not something that's LEMAIRE. There's plenty of things where the shirt and the top match, or just finding something in that category. Yeah. That's an easy way to do this, like kind of like upscale, but still cool and casual look.
Yep. Completely agreed.
All right. So, I mean, I think at the end of the day, we'll send Alec on his way and we can wrap it up. Thanks to Alec. Everyone can clap. And I think that like really the takeaway from like spring is like play with proportion a lot and play with mixing materials. It's like it's like a time where you get to do that more than any other time. I think in fall there's more, it's not really that there's rules, but you mix a lot more because it's easy. You just put layers on layers. A lot of shit, layers. And that's its own thing that we'll address at some point. But for spring, I just think that like this is the way you go about this, is like playing with the contrast of 2 different things and trying to make them work together. And we just wanted to provide some kind of like helpful hints, or I don't want to say rules, but some guidelines on how you achieve that mixing and matching without it feeling too difficult. Yeah. But the better, it's only going to look better the less you think about it. So that's also,
I think that's the main thing. Yeah. If you see somebody that's just like owning the look, undoubtedly cooler than somebody who's really worried and fussing with 100%. Too many things. Yeah. Okay, so those are our spring looks. There's just a little piece of advice for you. Yeah. Close her up. As usual, like, comment, subscribe. Check out the Patreon, patreon.com/shopcanoeclub. Check out our podcast, Customer Service Podcast. Anywhere podcasts are found, easy to find. Hopefully the last time we did this video, we got a really good response. Everybody really enjoyed it. So hopefully you dig this format as well. Throw some suggestions on how we could maybe mix it up. But other than that, thank you for being engaged. Reach out if you need anything. Certain things like layers, like we talked about, or certain accessories, or certain this, certain that. Just drop it in. We'll. I mean, obviously, people like this one told us to do different, or told us they wanted us to have more dialogue or whatever it is. We did it. So you tell us, and we'll try to cater the best we can. Yeah, we enjoyed it. So thanks for watching, guys.